Well, welcome back, True Sleuths and Horror Hounds. I am your host, True Horror Stories, and we are back once again for another episode of 80s Cinema Carnage. This particular movie review came via a Patreon request from a friend of mine and the channel, Musky Mike. Now, I'm not totally sure with all the stuff that I've collected for this intro if I should thank him or not, but, we'll just have to see, won't we? Ooh. The movie requested is Troll.
PH, that.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus, no, that's Trolls. Ugh.
Oh my god!
Close, but no, that's Troll 2, which is arguably the worst horror movie, if not the worst movie made of all time. Troll 1 was made in 1986 and directed by John Carl Buechler. The summary for this movie goes as follows. A wicked troll king in search of a mystical ring that will transform him to human form invades a San Francisco apartment complex where a powerful witch lives. Okay, that didn't give me a whole lot about the movie, so why don't we go ahead and take a look at the poster and hopefully we'll get something out of this. I'm not gonna lie, this movie poster kind of creeps me out. Yeah, that's unsettling. The poster is actually pretty simplistic in that it's only got the name of the movie, Troll, obviously, and this weird Fraggle Rock looking motherfucker cooking his finger at you like.
And you need to come on down to the cellar. I got a whole freezer full of popsicles.
I don't have a whole lot else to say about this. I like the fog and the little touch of greenery because it makes me think of Troll from Central Park, but still very unsettled. Now that we've gone over the summary of the movie and looked at the poster, let's go ahead and get on into these stupid Rotten Tomato comments. Our first Rotten Tomato comment is from Brandon Q with a 3.5-star rating that says the following. Apparently I am the single person alive, maybe add one or two others tops, but it would seem as though I literally am the one and only individual that has ever watched this honestly quite charming little dark fantasy film who finds it possessing some frankly intriguing merits. I can say that from going through all of these comments that you are not Brandon, but go off, Queen. Good pacing, interesting characters and scenario, fantastic creature makeup. Phil Fondacaro as the Troll Prince exudes a magnificent degree of personality, and the miniature puppet of him toward the end remains one of the very best I've ever seen. Yet another cool fantasy film starring Noah Hathaway, Get Out of Town, what more could you ask for? And Sonny Bono, and a musical number performed by all the fantastic creatures invading the brownstone apartment building, and no less than June Lockhart in what simply must be her best film performance ever, Eunice St. Clair, Get Out of Town. Nerd! The fairy princess poem Fondacaro recites over dinner at the special request of the troll-possessed little sister, ellipses, positively mesmerizing. In my honest, earnest opinion, Troll has a lot going for it. Naturally, I cannot deny that the picture does contain 2 or 3 moments which are positively wretched. Still, director John Carl Buechler did a wonderful job. In my unpopular position of applause for the film with his direction, the score was really very good, the cast wild and goofy, features a good number of what the fuck moments totally out of left field, and also invented a father and son duo both named Harry Potter. If you enjoy all age-friendly fantasies, still possess an open mind, and aren't expecting a Bergman and Kurosawa cinematic revelation, you might find as much disposable enjoyment in Troll as I did, which many others are not capable of discovering for themselves. I mean, seriously, all y'all, how terrible can a movie featuring a full scene where Michael Moriarty makes a complete idiot of himself, lip-syncing and dancing, spazzing more to the point, to the entire recording of Blue Cheer Summertime Blues really be? I mean, to answer your question, it can be really bad, but I'll have to find out for myself, won't I? Our next comment is from DM with a 4.5-star rating that says, Harry Potter moves his family into an apartment with a host of colorful neighbors, including the dead congressman of California's 44th Congressional District and Elaine before she moved to New York. The young daughter of the family turns into a troll, but only her older brother notices she's different until she meets a friendly neighborhood witch. Great comedy moments and cheese galore. Our next comment is from Julian T with a half-star rating that says, this is awful. Just awful. I am at an absolute loss for words. I sat there and watched the entire credit sequence after it was over with my mouth hanging open and glaze on my eyes, trying to comprehend what I just witnessed. Alas, I cannot, and I will never be the same. Wow, just wow. So much I want to mention. The singing mushroom, the classic summertime blues dance scene, the midget/elf. As I said, I'm at a loss. I pride myself on being an expert on horrible movies, and I've seen an inordinate number of them. But I have no qualms about saying this might be the worst I have ever witnessed.
Girl, shut the fuck up. You thought you ate that? Bitch,
Tell me you hated this movie without telling me you hated this movie. I mean, gee golly willikers, that is one scathing review of this movie. The last one I'm gonna go over, and this is purely because I absolutely have to do this bit, but it's from Dan B with a 5-star rating saying, "They see me trolling, they hating." Alright, enough with the cheesy jokes and skits. Let's get right down to this movie review, and let's get into some 80s cinema carnage. This movie already starts off a little bit different than most of the others that I've reviewed so far because it immediately has the title card, whereas the others would have some sort of scene beforehand. We get immediately the title of the movie, Troll, on top of what looks like a castle. We then flash into what I'm assuming is inside the castle to see a desk with a book on it that opens up for us to show some sort of image related to the story.
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high.
Inside, we see this beautiful picture of people dancing and having a good time out in the middle of the forest, and then it scrolls over to what looks like a dead guy. That wasn't expected. This scene then fades out into some greenery, and then we're introduced to the main family of the story, the Potters. Right off the bat, watching the family interact, I am questioning whether or not the writer and director for this movie are fucking pod people, because this is not how human beings act or interact whatsoever.
I saw a rat burger joint around the corner.
Oh, neat.
Gross.
I wish you wouldn't call them rat burgers in front of the kids.
Dad takes off, Mom tells Harry Jr. to watch his sister, and goes inside, and the kids sit down on the staircase. Now, here I go, questioning the director again, because then Wendy is seen in another fucking room after sitting on the top of the staircase with her brother at the bottom, and somehow she gets away from him, because she's gone around the building to go to this other room. And on top of that, she's bouncing her ball up and down, going, "Peas poured hot, peas poured cold, peas poured in the pot, 9 days old." How in the hell do you not hear her moving past you, dum-dum? Like, what? Are you oblivious? She does her little bit with the ball and the peas poured hot thing and accidentally lets it go, watching it roll into the room and having a look on her face like, I probably shouldn't go in there to get it. Something's wrong with this situation. And she would have been right, because she goes in to grab the ball, and as soon as she turns around to go back outside, she's grabbed by this grimy little hand and tugged off screen. Harry finally realizes that his sister's gone poof, and then we get introduced to the Fraggle Rock looking thing on the poster. Once Harry gets to the laundry room, we get another edition of That's Not How People Talk!
Have you been playing with dead cats? Okay. Okay, Wendy. Keep hiding. I'm gonna tell Dad, and you're really gonna be in a lot of trouble.
I got you!
did not.
I did too.
Mom and Dad are gonna be really pissed at you when they find out you've been hiding.
I got you! I got you!
Not even kids talk that way. You cannot tell me otherwise. Harry runs off and we get another scene with the entire family on the floor of their newly moved in apartment with these rat burgers, and oh boy, they definitely look like rat burgers because they are gross as fuck.
What's that?
It's the works.
What's in it?
Just eat it, honey. It's good for you.
You know what it is? It's garbage is what it is. What you did on that dish is inappropriate and ultimately kind of disgusting. Congratulations.
We then see Wendy, or the troll parading as Wendy, bite into this burger and consume it in a way that is so animalistic it's disgusting, and you can see that her family's disgusted and appalled by seeing it, followed by the troll asking for more rat burgers and losing their mind when they don't get them immediately. The next scene that this causes both confuses and annoys the ever-loving shit out of me. Troll Wendy runs upstairs, pulls the fire alarm, and Harry Jr. is right behind her. When they come back downstairs, we meet one of their neighbors and continue to meet the rest of the neighbors in the apartment complex in the next set of cringy as fuck scenes. The neighbor that came downstairs with Wendy and Harry Jr. is Peter Dickinson, and he lives upstairs. But dude, do you have an ice cream van parked outside somewhere? Cause you give me the fucking creeps. Kids come in again, run into the back, and then we get this scene that doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
I'm Peter Dickinson, I live upstairs.
Harry! Oh, honey, they went that way.
That way. You're a big help.
Play that back one more time. Unless the troll fucking portal jumped, there's no goddamn way they would have got upstairs that fast. There's no way. And then welcome, folks, another installation of People Do Not Talk Like This.
You have the distinction of owning the only 2 children in this entire building.
Oh, we don't own them, we just rent.
Well, let me give it to you straight, Harry boy. You see, I am a single, unattached guy, and I live upstairs right above you. Now, I'm into swinging, and children having pillow fights at all hours of the night while I'm trying to score may cause a few strikeouts. You get me, Harry boy?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Mr. Dickinson. Wrong apartment.
Shit!
Shit is right, Mr. Dickinson. We are then introduced to the funniest depiction of a Marine in a movie I've seen in a very long time, with Lieutenant Barry Tabor. As soon as he came in his tracksuit, I swear I could just envision him eating crayon MREs every day and his favorite flavor being green. He comes in with his headphones on, listening to his music and jogging in place, repeating everything that Harry Potter Sr. says, until when he finally gets him to take his headset off, and then he screams, "Arr!" with this stupid look on his face. He says he's in the insurance industry, but he no like poquito because of this reason, and I'm reminded exactly what time period this movie came out in.
No, Potter. And I review books.
You what?
I review books for magazines.
Oh, man, I never read them. Owned and operated by liberal scum. They knock our president every chance they get. Leave us wide open for the communist menace, you know what I mean?
Harry Potter Sr.'s response is that he did a little bit of ROTC and, kill me now, please. 0, 0, 0, 0, failure. We then meet another couple that lives upstairs, Will and Jeanette has the rat burgers in hand that Wendy had stolen at some point. I don't know how the fuck that happened, but there it is. We get a whole lot more awkward chatter and stupid entrances and exits that don't make any fucking sense. Like, how in the hell was the mom in the house when she'd gone outside after the kids earlier? I guess physics doesn't fucking work in this apartment complex, but we do get mention of another neighbor named Malcolm, who's a history teacher, and we are introduced to the final neighbor in this apartment complex, Miss St. Clair. She gives the rest of the adults an absolute tongue lashing before going to tell the firefighters that the alarm's a false one and they can turn it off, which finally ends the scene, and we do see Mr. Potter go in to deal with this out-of-control child, or the troll pretending to be his child, and that ends with this. If my child bit me and then did that shit, ooh, you bet they're about to get their ass beat, I swear to God. We get to the next day, and Troll Wendy is interested in the swinger upstairs. This dude is literally the creepiest motherfucker I have ever seen. Like, look at this and tell me this is not creepy.
Well, babe, was it what you expected?
This random chick's face says everything. This creepy little scene ends with the woman telling swinger dude to go jump in a fucking lake after he tells her to make him some pancakes. Understandable, and we return back to the Potter family. They clearly think something is wrong with Wendy, but they don't notice the ring on her finger, nor do they seem to even realize who their own daughter is, because even I, from the beginning, would think that this is not how their daughter acts. There was nothing in the beginning when we were first introduced to them that told me this is how Wendy would act. The trend of her doing bad shit and getting away with it continues when she goes into the other room and her brother is thrown into a fucking wall, which he excuses as him tripping, before she just takes off to go upstairs to see Ida the swinger. Random girl leaves, Troll Wendy goes upstairs and has this weird little conversation with the swinger before they play an even weirder game of hide and seek, which ends with the troll popping out and scaring the living shit out of him.
Now I gotcha! Holy shit!
Holy shit is right, sir. A little needle pops out of the ring and the troll stabs Swinger with it. What happens after that is just weird beyond all compare, and he turns into this like giant green turd looking thing. This green looking turd opens up and the entire room turns into a greenscape or like a forest that spawns these creepy looking creatures that I guess are supposed to be trolls. While this is all going on, Junior is upstairs and finds himself in Miss St. Clair's room, and we've got another entry into "This is not how people talk."
Well, what do you want, short stuff?
Have you seen my sister?
No.
Oh, good. Can I come in? I think I'm gonna throw up.
Well, how can I resist an offer like that? Go on in, the bathroom's on the right.
We see Troll Wendy leave the greenhouse apartment and go back downstairs to her family, and then we return back to Miss St. Clair's apartment to see that, oh my god, the dick fucking talks! Oh my god, the dick talks. What the fuck? Junior comes out and has a conversation with Miss St. Clair that just goes weird from the get-go, with her asking if he popped his cookies, like she's asking if he threw up, and I've never heard anybody say it that way. They have a short but odd conversation and become friends after Junior admits that he's afraid of his sister and doesn't understand why she's acting so weirdly. We then get a scene where Troll Wendy is playing around in traffic, and just before she is run over by a taxi cab, the last person that lives in the apartment complex, Malcolm, saves her. They somehow become quick friends, with her saying she thinks he's an elf, him agreeing with her because he thinks she's a kid, and the most unsettling response from Troll Wendy from this entire movie so far.
Your parents are probably wondering where you are.
Yes, Brother Elf.
We get a really mundane scene of Anne coming in and asking Junior to go get some milk with his sister. She goes to ask Wendy if she wants to go with him. She says no, and the creepiest fucking shit continues to happen. Junior expresses to his mother that he thinks something's wrong with Wendy. His mother blows him off, and then Wendy freaks him out and makes him run out of the house to go get milk, running into our Marine friend. We then get the only saving grace, I think, of this entire movie, and that's Harry Potter Sr. dancing like a goddamn idiot to Summertime Blues. While everybody is distracted in one way, shape, or form, Troll Wendy goes next door to talk to Uncle Duke, and we find out that guns don't work on the troll. This inevitably ends with Duke getting the poke from the troll, just like the swinger upstairs did earlier.
It looks something like
this.
Oh my.
Unfortunately for Junior, he returns just in time to hear Duke screaming, and Wendy comes out to incapacitate him with the ring, going back inside like nothing happened. Troll Wendy goes inside to let her dad know that Junior's passed out outside, lying about what exactly happened, and while they're checking on Junior to make sure he's okay, the next room over is being turned into another greenhouse with little monsters popping out of poop eggs again. We then see that Junior's okay and tells his dad he doesn't want to be bothered by Wendy if he's sick, which good brother, but we find out there's another motive to this, and he pulls out what looks like a magazine and a small television to watch, while everybody else is occupied with Wendy and the friend that's supposed to be coming over. It was at this point that we got a really awkward scene where the family realizes that the friend that's coming over isn't another kid, and instead is an adult man that just happens to be the little person. And the look on Anne and Harry's face when they find out is just, oh, chef's fucking kiss.
Hi, I'm Malcolm Mallory.
Hello. Come on in.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Potter.
I'm sorry. My name is Harry. How do you do? Honey!
Is Wendy's little friend here yet?
Yes, he is.
Oh. Hi.
Unfortunately, my amusement died very quickly because we got another entry of "This is not how people talk!"
You're professor of English.
You can forget the milk, honey. He's into gin and tonics.
I brought a note from my mother.
That's very good.
The awkwardness is palpable, guys. Once the awkwardness settles, we go to see that Junior is watching a movie that talks about body snatchers, or is alluding to Invasion of the Body Snatchers when it talks about pod people from Mars. Good reference movie. We get some more awkward conversation, but then we get a scene that shows the absolute acting chops of Phil Fondacaro, who plays both Malcolm and the Troll. He recites from memory multiple sections of The Fairy Queen, Book 1, Canto 1 by Edmund Spenser, which, if you do not know, is a very old poem that talks about certain tropes for fairies that we know today in our own lore and culture. His recital of this is beautiful, and I would say that I enjoyed it if it wasn't interspliced with shit like this. While this is all going down, Eunice is noticing that there's a problem and says that it's happening again. What does that mean? We'll find out. She stops the weird ritual shenanigans by blowing on a horn she has hanging on the wall, and this even catches Troll Wendy off guard a little bit. We go to the next morning and Troll Wendy has another massive temper tantrum over apple juice, which is diffused by Harry Jr., not his parents. And this is because he has absolutely 100% confirmed to himself that this is not his sister, and therefore needs to protect his parents from whoever it is that is pretending to be her. He then tells his parents that he plans to go eat breakfast with Miss Eunice, and when he gets up there, there's another line from here that makes me think that whoever wrote the script doesn't understand how to write for people at all. Holy shit.
How'd you know it was me? Oh, I recognized the knock. It's pre-pubescent.
After this, they have another weird tete-a-tete, and we find out that Eunice isn't normal. She's a witch, and she's there for a very specific reason. Of course, we don't find out exactly what that reason is right now, because Troll Wendy goes upstairs to perv on Jeanette, another one of the neighbors. She gets inside with another rendition of "This is not how people talk!"
Hi, you like flowers? Yeah, these are for you. I picked them myself. Wow, thanks a lot. They're beautiful. So are you.
Now, the troll starts getting into a conversation with Jeanette about beauty, and it just is really weird, so I have to show you.
This was you? Uh-huh, I was about your age then. You were pretty. Thanks, I think. Beauty fades with age. What? This is your suitor? No, that's my boyfriend. His name's William. Yes, I know.
After Jeanette's done with Troll Wendy perving on her, she walks out of the room and we return back to Eunice and Junior talking. We learn a little bit more about Eunice. She used to be a princess. She became a witch because she fell in love with a warlock named Turok. Then we cut this line of thought off and we get this little bit of dialogue.
How is your sister? She's not my sister. What do you mean? I figured it out. She looks like my sister. She acts like my sister. She even sounds like my sister, but she's an alien. It's like she's a pod person from the planet Mars. Close, but no cigar.
Acts like your sister. Right. The exposition in this scene is cut off due to us going back to Jeanette's apartment, so we see a fairy version of her come out of the poop seat and Troll staring at her like a perv once again. Apparently, when the Potters showed up, it was a night called Valpurgis Night, which is a pagan holiday where all of the fairy world come together and fuck around. Yes, Harry, what the fuck is the penis-shaped thing? What is it? Fuck you, penis thing. Fuck you. After telling Harry Jr. that there's only 72 hours between Valpurgis Night and the ritual that Troll Wendy is doing coming to fruition, she shoos him out of the house. Like, what the fuck? What the hell's going on? I'm confused. The next thing we see is the troll peeping on Malcolm and William, who are at Jeanette's apartment door trying to get hold of her. Apparently, she was supposed to be meeting with William to play volleyball and never showed up, which has him justifiably worried, and unfortunately, once Malcolm leaves, he's pulled inside to see the absolute shitfest that's going on. He chases her around a little bit and then is met with this. Doesn't take Troll Wendy long after this because she meets Malcolm in the hallway and somehow lets herself into his house even though he'd lost his key and apparently it was locked. While they're having a very wholesome conversation, Malcolm tells Troll Wendy that he has some sort of disease that infects his bone marrow, I'm assuming bone marrow cancer, and he is dying. Once this is revealed, Troll Wendy asks him if he wanted to be an elf. His response and the story that he gives on his childhood and wishing that his illness was somehow magic is the reason why Malcolm is the only character that I enjoy out of this movie. And as you can tell, I very much dislike this movie. You can tell by the way that Troll Wendy reacts to the story and the troll towards the end of the story that they genuinely care about Malcolm and do not want him to die. So they're going to give him new life as an elf or as a magical being to save his life. We then see Eunice checking on the apartment complex residents only to find that they have been taken over by the troll, and she finally realizes exactly what has happened under her nose. While she's trying to check on Duke, Harry Sr. comes out and the interaction is... I really have no words to describe what the interaction is like. I'm just gonna show you.
Hello there, Miss St. Clair. Are we having a problem?
Does it look as though I'm having a problem?
Oh, no, you're looking for whales to harpoon, right?
You must be Harry's father.
That's right.
Well, that explains his interest in monster movies.
Oh, you should have seen me before I shaved.
Have you seen Jungle Jim lately?
Duke? No, I haven't seen him since Friday.
Oh, damn it.
What's the matter?
What's the matter? Everybody in the entire building is just disappearing, that's all, one by one.
Well, it is the weekend.
Do you know what day it was when they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima?
It was on a weekend, right?
I don't know, but it would be interesting to find out, wouldn't it?
After Eunice and Harry Potter Sr. have this weird interaction, he talks to Junior, and Junior finally says to him, "That's not Wendy that's been living in our house. That's something else." Senior responds by asking his wife if she did drugs while pregnant, but the next scene definitely made me feel like I was on drugs. You tell me what you see in this scene. I will 100% bet that you guys see exactly what I did while watching this.
Get the fuck out of my room! I'm playing Minecraft!
Yes, I know what you probably thought you saw, but out of that poop pod comes a tiny ass Malcolm, and that thing is scary as shit. Look at it! Look at it! Once again, I am back to staring uncomfortably at my screen because we are with the Potters for dinner, and oh, god damn, this is so fucking cringe. Junior staring at Troll Wendy. Troll Wendy is smacking her food like a freaking llama. Mom is not happy with what's going on, and Dad is just absolutely fucking oblivious. They finally stop his one-sided staring contest with his fake sister and have him go get a cup of coffee, which she then sets on fire because it's on the fucking stove. How in the hell do these parents not realize that the kid has something wrong with her? We get a short scene with the troll babies going upstairs to try and take over Miss St. Clair's room, and she hits them with a beam from her little staff that she's been carrying around for quite some time. Really quick, kind of weird CGI, it's whatever. This goes back to Junior and Troll Wendy in their rooms. Junior's trying to go to sleep, and the troll's walking around the room like a fucking creeper. Junior at one point looks over, sees his sister, or what it looks like his sister, reading a book, looks away, looks back again, and sees the troll looking at him, turns away, and then looks again to see the visage of his sister going night night like an extra creepy creeper. Junior wakes up to find that Troll Wendy is not in bed anymore and decides to go looking for her, going out into the hallway to find that the rooms that were taken over with magic are going absolutely haywire. He fights through that and gets all the way up to Miss St. Clair's room to talk to her about what's going on and what he saw the night before. This is where we get into spoiler territory. If you actually want to go see this movie, I don't know why you would, but if you did, I would stop here, go watch the movie, and then come back. When Junior goes on to explain what he saw when he saw Troll Wendy in their actual form, he's shown a picture of a troll named Turok. There you go, we got a name for Troll Wendy. Will I remember it? Probably not. Miss St. Clair goes on to explain exactly why Turok is the way he is and why he's doing what he's doing, and we find out that she used to be married to the dude when he wasn't an evil troll. Used to be a human who liked the fairy kind and didn't like the politics between the fairies and the humans, so went all Benedict Arnold and joined the fairies so they can get more power, which turned him into a troll, and now he wants revenge. Yeah, we'll go with that because they don't really explain it the best. It's really rushed. I'm just giving you what I could understand, and I've watched this scene quite a few times. Junior then gleams that Miss St. Clair is there to stop Turok from doing this and asks why exactly Turok is in that apartment building to take his revenge, and this is what her response is.
I'm not quite sure, but I think that he's going from apartment to apartment. He's transforming sections of this building into different fairy worlds. And when he has succeeded in transforming them all, a single fairy universe will be formed within this building. It'll be filled with all his old fairy pals. And when that's done, that universe will burst forth like a fourth dimension.
So, turn down for what? Junior asks if Wendy is still alive and where she would be, and is told that Wendy is alive and being kept somewhere hidden because she is a fair-haired child that is going to be kept as the fairy queen for Turok's new world, which he has 3 days in total to create, and has already spent 2 of them getting the other 4 apartments in the apartment complex, with the Potters and Miss St. Clair's apartments being the final 2 before his little ritual is completed. Junior asks then, well, how how do I stop him and get my sister back? And is handed the golden spear that Miss St. Clair has been using this whole time. You should know by now, if you're smart, not to give children pointy, sharp objects. This is bad. She then instructs a child to go into Turok's world and stab the center of it with this spear, which should be the biggest, meanest, ugliest thing he can find. That's really smart, lady. You're really smart. Sarcasm. Massive amounts of sarcasm pouring from my fucking ears. We get the most ironically hysterical scenes from this movie after this point with Miss St. Clair, and it starts with this one.
Turok, you harm one hair on Harry's head, and I'll make your life a living hell for all eternity.
Plot twist, Miss St. Clair's a fucking babe, dude! While she heads downstairs to take care of business with Turok, cause she's super serial, guys. Junior sits by his front door with the staff, and his dad doesn't really question it much. I think the parents are just plain stupid. Miss St. Clair tries to girl boss her way in there and just gets absolutely wrecked. Somehow Junior has some spidey sense tingling that Miss St. Clair has been turned or something, and goes up to a room to find her and finds this.
All right, kiddo, it's up to you now. Don't blow it. Eunice, no!
Now that Miss St. Clair's room is taken over, there's only one apartment left, and that's the Potter's home.
Shut that damn door. He can't take over if you keep him out of your home. What is going on out there?
I don't know, but I'm listening to that tree.
I think they know that they're being taken over and there's a problem now, guys. While the parents are cowering in their homes, Junior is running around in the forest and finally finds Wendy all sleeping beauty in this glass or magic glass coffin, which he then shoves the spear into and gets her out of. As soon as he gets her out and wakes her up, this thing shows up, and I'm assuming that's the part of the dimension that St. Clair was talking about. And after that, we get the fucking worst CGI scene I've laid eyes on in the longest time. Take a look at this, guys. Junior and Wendy are then trying to get away from Big Beastie, and the battle only ends when Turok has a change of heart because Beastie is going after Wendy, who's supposed to be his fairy queen. That can't happen, so he undoes all the crap he's been doing for almost 3 days now by throwing the spear into Beastie's chest. The Potters are then reunited. They get out of the apartment complex as soon as they can, with one last reunion between Miss St. Clair and Potter Jr., with her congratulating him on what he's done in defeating Turok. Except they didn't completely defeat Turok, because when the police show up to check the scene, one goes off on his own and ends up in Turok's area via the washroom that Wendy went into at the beginning of the movie. And that's the end of Troll. So, what do you think of this movie, THS, you might be asking? Well, dear viewer, it's utter shit. The writing was terrible to the point where I didn't understand half of what the fuck was going on. The acting was so bizarre, I wondered if anybody there knew how human beings interacted. There wasn't anything scary about it, I was just mildly creeped out by the troll in some places, and it was a slogfest to get through. Would I recommend this movie to anybody? No. Would I watch it again? Fuck no. So in this case, I'm gonna give a miss this shit to Troll. Thank you. Bye-bye. I wanted to take this time to thank my Patreons and channel members. Your support is so greatly appreciated, and I can't thank you enough. If you'd like to become a Patreon, there is a link in the description below, and if you'd like to become a channel member, just go ahead and click that join button and join the Truth Sleuths and Horror Hounds. All channel members and Patreons receive 24-hour access to videos prior to their public release and exclusive updates on my progress. After a certain tier, you can request that I do a certain topic or movie review, or you can even request that I do a game live stream, whichever works for you. At the highest tier, you not only get to choose the topic in which I cover, you get to either co-host the stream or the video that I do that covers said topic, no matter if it's one or multiple. Of course, this is not obligatory. If you want to support the channel, I greatly appreciate it, and once again, thank you so much.